Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Etep right here with you. Today we're going to start out our Raw review with something a little different. We're going to have to run over the results of SmackDown. I do apologize. I was on the road, unable to cover Friday Night SmackDown from May 10th, 2024. Here's the results quickly, though. Nia Jax defeats Naomi in a first-round Queen of the Ring match. Also, Carmelo Hayes defeats Baron Corbin in the first round. Jade Cargill over Piper Niven. Bianca Belair over Candice LeRae. Tama Tonga defeats Angelo Dawkins. And Randy Orton defeats AJ Styles. The first round of the King of the Ring over on SmackDown. Now it's time for our Raw review. We open our show from Greenville, South Carolina, and it opens with a Drew McIntyre in-ring promo. And can I just tell you, I absolutely detest them showing every single one of the wrestlers walking in through the gorilla position. I fucking hate it. I hate seeing that shown on television regularly. It is ridiculous. CM Punk chants are quelled when Drew says, "Punk ain't showing up. He only makes the big towns, brothers." Drew bags on Punk, then talks shit about the World Heavyweight Champion, El Campeon, Damian Priest, who comes to the ring and basically tells Drew he's got some issues, but Priest does tell Drew he will get his world title shot, and I think this will be an excellent match when we get a full one and it comes to fruition on pay-per-view. Match number 1 of the night, folks. Queen of the Ring quarterfinal matchup. Io Sky of Damage Control versus Shayna Baszler, who I have no idea how she's still employed with WWE, yet here we are. Baszler jumps Sky during her entrance because for some reason that makes no fucking sense. Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane do not accompany Io to the ring. They walk out on the ramp and then wish her bon voyage, farewell. And in terms of psychology, that makes no fucking sense. If you're not going to have the bitches walk to the ring with her, don't even have them come out. It's fucking retarded. You've got an entire stable, so you're telling me that just because they're supposed to be the baby faces in this, the stable doesn't come down to the ring when they're not really baby faces. Baszler isn't a baby face. The women's booking is so ass backwards outside of a few, and even there, this was just bad. Why is Shayna Baszler in the Queen of the Ring? Who had the brilliant idea? You don't have enough carbon copy cutouts to job to where we don't have to see that ghoul on the screen. Baszler, she advanced to the Queen of the Ring quarterfinals by beating Maxine Dupree at a fucking house show in a non-televised match. That's how important Shayna Baszler is to this tournament. So, Sky versus Baszler is a dog shit match. Baszler standing around waiting for tumbling gymnastics. Io Sky wins with her Meteora and then her Lyra Valkyra later tonight. And if I pronounce Lyra's name wrong, it's because it doesn't matter and she's irrelevant. Backstage promo time as we meet up with the Judgment Day in their locker room. Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and El Campeon, Damian Priest, walks in and they're talking to Carlito. And he's still trying to get Damian Priest to let him work with Judgment Day. Priest says he's not going to work with him, but the boys can. And he leaves. And that's where we leave this promo. They're really pushing this spot. I don't care about a Carlito, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio type feud. I don't care. Match number 2 of the night, King of the Ring quarterfinal. Gunther versus Kofi Kingston, and I wonder if you guys could guess who's going to win this match. It's anybody's guess. Literally, either man could win this match. There's good psychology, good targeted offense by both men, and I don't want to poo-poo Kofi Kingston's talents because I've been a fan of his for a long time. It's just his time is past at this point. Gunther wins by the King of the Ring tournament. We head backstage for another promo with General Manager of Raw, Adam Pearce, as he is discussing some King of the Ring news and asked why Braun Breaker wasn't in King of the Ring. And then Braun Breaker shows up. You can see by the look on Adam Pearce's face, he's about ready to shit himself. No, Braun Breaker should have been in the King of the Ring and should have gotten a bigger push. This is a perfect opportunity to make this guy a full-fledged star. And why you wouldn't use this opportunity to do it is beyond me, all things considered. With the kind of stars that you're pushing right now, you've got a heavyweight monster here, and you are not utilizing him properly. We're in the 3 spot now. Queen of the Ring quarterfinal match. Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark. And this is kind of piggybacking off what I said last week about Zoe. Her match with Ivy Nile was terrible, although I do find her and Ivy to be very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Their work is often overshadowed by the audience sitting on their hands. Lyra, however you want to say her name, we'll say Lyra. Lyra is Becky Lynch's Nepo friend, so she got the call up from NXT, and she's going to get a push, probably win Queen of the Ring, if not come very close to it. I forget the other side of the bracket. We'll talk about that at the end. We'll go through and talk about the semifinals. But so, as I said, these ladies are both very attractive. Zoe does a wonderful job of being a muscle mommy jobber, much like those who came before her. Becky Lynch's Nepo trash wins with her Nightwing move, and the Queen of the Ring tournament continues to disappoint. To our next match we go, and we are back to the women.
Women.
And it's Dakota Kai versus the women's champion Becky Lynch from the Raw brand. Dakota, of course, with Damage Control. And I just have an issue believing that Dakota Kai is any kind of draw. I can see the weeb appeal because she comes with 2 Asian chicks. Draven, I'm looking right at you. But she's not great in the ring. I never understood why she gets pushed so heavily. She does have, and I'm not saying she's, a top tier, but she gets featured quite a bit on television. And this is not a great match. There's a lot of standing around and waiting for her by Becky. And I'm not a Becky fan either, so don't misconstrue that I'm kind of, marking for Becky Lynch here. I don't care for this match at all. It gets thrown out because Damage Control attacks Becky, and then Nepo Valkyria comes down to the ring to help, but Liv Morgan sneaks in, smashes Becky into the post, powders out, and they'll meet in just over a week in Jeddah.
The Senate has been informed that Jeddah was destroyed in a mining disaster.
Next up on Raw, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. Number 1 contenders to be determined for the World Tag Team Championships held by the Awesome Truth, R-Truth, and The Miz. And this match, I will say this is exactly as I wrote on the paper. This fucking match looks like an indie show tag match, and Authors of Pain are the names booked on the show. I'm sorry, but aesthetically this looks so fucking stupid. You've got the little munchkins, which I believe it was the New Catch Republic. So this match, you got New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus the Creed brothers, Brutus and Jesse, I think. I don't know. And then the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor. And the Authors of Pain are obviously the biggest team in this match, and it just looks ridiculous having these little 5'4" munchkins, which I know they're taller than that, but take out these two to where they were barely involved in the match. And I'm not even a big Authors of Pain fan. The one thing I do really like about them is you've got Precious Paul Ellering and the Road Warriors, one of my favorite tag teams of all time. So that I do love. But seeing these two just get destroyed by circus midgets is ridiculous. These matches, like I said, I was a tag team specialist when I wrestled. These matches are usually a clusterfuck, and this was no exception to that. Carlito hits a backstabber on the announce table to one of the guys from the New Catch Republic. Balor and McDonough are now the number one contender. Sorry, but I would have much rather seen Authors of Pain versus Miz and R-Truth. It would have been a much more compelling heel versus babyface matchup. Whereas in this one, the baby faces are bigger than the heels, which literally makes no sense.
Oh well, you made your bed, now fucking sleep in it.
Main event time, everybody. Jey Uso versus Ilya Dragunov, who moved up from NXT, got a W, his debut on Raw. So let's see what he does against main event man Jey Uso, the Yeetmeister himself. There's wrestlers that need to win every match, or else their momentum, their heat, their push will kind of wane and fade, and it will die off. Dragunov now on Raw, 1-1, losing to Jey Uso, who's in the midst of a really big push, is not going to hurt him. His performance in the match kept him looking strong, all right? Now, that being said, he's way too small to be, kayfabe hurts his hand in that. He gets a spear, and Us goes up top, and at that point, it's time to yeet, and it's just me, Us. 1, 2, 3. He moves on in the tournament to face Gunther, who, after the post-match celebration, comes down for a little face-off with Us, who tries to teach him how to do the yeet dance. And Gunther and him have a very respectful kind of face-off. Be any interference on the part of Kaiser in the match next week, but I prefer Gunther to stay kind of, if he's going to be a heel, that straightforward, I'm just going to kick your ass heel. So overall, this gets a good mark from me in the main event spot. So quickly here, let's recap where we're at in King of the Ring with the semifinals as of right now. We have Gunther facing Jey Uso, as Gunther beat Sheamus in the opening round, then Kofi. Kofi had defeated Rey Mysterio in the first round. Ilya Dragunov defeated Ricochet. Jey Uso went over on Finn Balor. And then, just tonight, as we saw, Ilya Dragunov. So we have Gunther versus Jey on one side. For Raw, the SmackDown side, Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes this Friday. Los Angeles Knight versus Tama Tonga. And this is going to shape up to be Randy Orton versus, I don't want to say it, but it's going to be Orton versus Tama Tonga. And then I am thinking we're going to see Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga in the finals. Jey Uso going over, and yeah, because Tama Tonga's in no way ready for a World Heavyweight title shot. But this is another vehicle to propel It's Just Me, Us to the top and see what kind of program he can have for the world title. If it comes to that, if that's what we do with the King of the Ring once he wins. Last and certainly least in matches that mean absolutely nothing, Bronson Reed went over Tozawa from the Alpha Academy, and homeless crackhead Sami Zayn beat Otis from the Alpha Academy in continuing the storyline, moving towards Chad Gable and Sami Zayn in their Intercontinental title match that I couldn't care less about. So there you go, folks. There's my thoughts on Raw. Recap of SmackDown from last week. Again, I apologize. I know the last 2 weeks I haven't been able to get individual SmackDown reviews out. But in the event that happens moving forward, I'll do this and I'll throw a quick recap on the Raw review. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, watching the videos, watching the live streams. We've got a lot of things in the hopper cooking just for you, our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, do the things. That's it. I'm done. I'm Etep Wakuian from The Place to Be Reviews. I'm on camera because I don't want to hear any complaining about me not showing up on camera and having opinions that somebody doesn't like, so they, think that I'm never on camera. Well, as I said last week, Chief, there's over 1,800 videos, including live streams, And 90% of those, I'm on camera. So if you look hard enough, you'll see I'm not afraid to be on camera. Have a great day, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.